Good morning. Denise Dryden here. I'm down in Campbell, California. Took a trip to come down and see my family. Got all set up outside and it was way too noisy, so I'm in the hotel room. Today I want to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of those huge energies. And when we blend it with fluidity that I did last week, it's a really interesting concept. So we're going to take forgiveness today and we're going to take fluidity and we're going to weave them around and see how they work together. And if you don't know about the fluidity talk, you can go back on my website or on LinkedIn or on YouTube and you can watch it and then you can sort of put them in perspective. So I've worked with a triangle before, which is love, compassion, forgiveness, that we work on love. And then when we really understand love, we shift over and we start focusing on compassion. Compassion's huge, coming from the heart, right? Love is coming from the heart. Love is just being able to accept someone in your heart. Compassion is sort of in that gut, like, whoa, I can feel that other person's feelings and I understand who they are. I can walk in their shoes and I can send them support. I can send them love. Doesn't mean that you have to like them or accept them. It means that you can send them love. And then this third one, forgiveness, man, that's deep. It's in the lower chakras. It's in the root chakra. It's in the sacral chakra. It's in the lumbar. It's in the sacrum. It's this deep, low intestinal bowel sort of feeling. And it's a vibration. And for those of us who have really strong lower back pain, there's usually some forgiveness stuff going on. So, when I work with dictionaries, the Dictionary of Physical Diseases and Ailments, we can start to weave together that forgiveness is one of those huge energies. And I think it's time to start talking about that, right? So forgiveness, defined, is an action or a process of forgiving. It's when we change our feelings, we create a level of peace of mind, and we let go. It makes us address anger, resentment, and where we hold it in the body. So forgiveness is huge. To forgive is to stop feeling anger or resentment towards another person, a place, an event. It's letting go of the offense or the flaw or the mistake or the hurt or the damage. It's canceling a debt. It's towards another, but it's also towards ourselves. So self-forgiveness is huge. So when we hold the feelings of anger and pain and resentment in our body, we stop growing. We stop moving. We actually end up with this lump of resentment, this lump of pain in our body, and it calcifies. And we hold on to it and we say, I need to hold on to this, right? I need to hold on to this and I need to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere because I need to know that I don't forget it. But what happens is that we calcify. We calcify and it sort of sinks in, and you think of what an anchor looks like when it's been left in the ocean and it's got all these crustaceans all over it and it's immobile after a while. We want to know that when we hold on to our angers and our resentments in our body, that they calcify. That's the most important part. And they freeze us in that time or place. And so anything we try to do to grow and shift, we can go so far, but then we come back to that anchor of complete stuckness. Okay? So forgiveness means that we're gonna go in and dig around on that, and we're gonna let that calcification go. What also comes with that calcification is bitterness. And when you see bitterness, sort of an internal anger, it starts to eat us up inside. It's when we're spiteful. It's when we're resentful. It's when we hold on to something that we judge or that we carry as a torch, like a martyr inside our body. So if fluidity is one of those commodities that we need in the future, and we need to be able to loosen up and move through it, we need to address these calcified spots of us, and we need to work on forgiveness, right? So the other night I did some actually some really interesting discoveries on forgiveness, which is what lent itself to this topic today. And I kept going to the deeper and deeper levels of forgiveness, so I thought I would walk you through that. So we know that forgiveness is a vibration in the body. It's locked in hertz. And when we forgive something, we release that vibration, right? So the first thing we know about forgiveness is that on the very easiest level, it's the ability to forgive the act or the action. You did something. This happened. And it could be something as minor as you lied to me and I don't trust you. It could be you broke our agreement in our marriage. It could be that you took somebody that I loved and you took their life away from them. And so we're not talking about gradations of that pain. What we're simply saying is that when we forgive the act or the action, we let it go. That's the very first level of forgiveness. The second one is to forgive the anticipation of the act or the action. What happens when we live our life like, I can't go down dark alleys because something will happen to me. I can't, and we start holding on to our fears and we project them out and we anticipate that something bad's going to happen. And then when it happens, we're like, yep, I was right. This is what I know. So when we let go of the anticipation, it means we stop collecting reasons to be hurt or resentful or scared. So forgiveness is huge when we go after it on that level. We can't avoid, we can't keep nurturing these fears. Number 3, the ability to forgive the intuition of the act or the action, which is what happens when you know, man, if I go into this relationship, it's going to be ugly, it's going to be bad, and you do it anyway. Or you get a tap, tap, tap on the shoulder. It says, it's time to leave this job, and you go, I don't know, and you go into denial, and you go into all of these other pieces, but your intuition is telling you, you know, and then it happens. And then it goes internal like, and you get locked. So when your intuition is stuck. So we're going to go dislodge that too. Number 4, the ability to forgive the exact energy of the story, the place, the event, the act, or the action. Not just that this happened, but what is the energetic signature of it? Where does it destroy your life? Where does it hold you in such pain or such righteousness that you need to go back and find out what it is? And the reason we do that, we need to know what exactly happened, is because if we don't know what it is, we don't know how to go find it. So we go find it. We go specifically after it had something to do with this event, and I got to go in and then identify the energy. I felt betrayed. I felt embarrassed. I felt the deepest grief I've ever had. I don't know if I can keep living with this. Whatever that emotion, that feeling in your body is, you have to go find it. The exact energy of what it is. 5, we have to forgive the other, that people, place, and thing, for the energetic vibration they evoke in us. In other words, what we do is we blame them. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. And we see this with teenagers, right? And in adults, it's really petrifying. It's very calcifying when we attach what happened to us to somebody else. So it's now we have to forgive. When I see him, he evokes this energy in me. So we have to forgive the energy that is evoked as a result of this action event. Man, and the biggest one for me is number 6, which is we have to forgive them for the role they played. And sometimes I think, man, when this is all over and I'm on the other side, I'm going to be high-fiving this guy and going, man, you were great at that job. You hurt me. You did this on such a magnificent level. How did you do that? Just be able to say, I forgive the person for the role that they played in creating this for me. So we have these different dimensions, these different depths of forgiveness. And when we understand that it's not just a single act, that it's a single act that has how it evokes, how it comes into our intuition, how it plays out in the roles we play. Then when we've done this work, we go back to the place of love. And we love them for the role that they played. We love them for the gift that they gave us. We don't have to make what they did okay. We just have to keep letting go of how we hold on to it, right? So what we do is we create this fluidity, which is I don't have to be rigid and anchored into life by the pains that have happened to me or the hurts. I can let go. I can live my life the way I need to live it. I can dust off, let go of those pieces that keep me bitter or resentful and let me move on. So that something new and beautiful and wonderful and fun and happy can fill that space. Isn't that what we want? So forgiveness is a solo act. It's not something you make somebody do. It's something that you do for yourself. It has nothing to do with the other. You don't make it good or bad or right or wrong for them. You just simply let go of the anchor that it holds in your life. And the question I want to say is, why now? Why is forgiveness the most important work? Love each other. Be with each other. Be fluid and see what wants to happen. I think we can change what's happening on the outer world when we come after what's going on in the inner world. So this is the kind of work that I do as a coach. If you're interested, you can always contact me through DeniseDrydenCoaching.com. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'm heading up to Big Basin. I'm going to go play in the mountains with the redwoods. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.